Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. My name is Zaid and this one is going to be an absolute banger for you. Now, this video is going to be slightly different to probably what you're used to watching on my channel, all 2 subscribers of you, but I am making a vlog style video. Now, I am primarily a gaming streamer, YouTuber, content creator, if you want to put that label on it, but I want to document my journey from where I am right now at the start all the way to the end of reaching my goal of becoming a full-time content creator. Now, becoming a full-time content creator is obviously not going to be easy. It's not going to be one of those things that happens overnight. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, and even a little bit of luck. You know, being in the right place at the right time, you know, the right person coming along and dropping into your stream. It's one of those things where it does require a little bit of luck. Now, I haven't really had the capabilities to become a content creator before. I mean, I had a phone, I could have done it through there, but I don't want to be a vlogging, like just chatting sort of streamer or content creator. I want to be a gaming content creator, mainly Call of Duty, to be honest with you. Call of Duty is my game. It's the game I've played and I'm pretty decent at it, and the same as like Rocket League and games like that. I want to, you know, obviously play those sort of games on stream and be noticed and be on, you know, the front page of Twitch and all this, where I am, you know, trending or whatever. Like, I want to be at that sort of level, and I believe I can get there. I really do believe it. I believe that I now have everything I need to get to that point. Now, before, I had a really good PC. This was like 5 years ago. I had a really good PC. I didn't have good internet, so I couldn't really stream. The stream was terrible quality. It wasn't worth watching. I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't the sort of like level of stream I would like to watch. So I didn't stream. I started and then I just stopped because everything just seemed to go wrong, or, you know, the stream would disconnect. And then it got to a point where I got really good internet, which was about, say, 4 or 5 months ago now, maybe a little bit longer. And my PC just wasn't living up to what I wanted to play and stream. If I'm gonna have to play a game that I'm not really gonna enjoy playing, then I'm not gonna stream it, because I would hate every second of it. You know, the reason I like playing Call of Duty and like playing Rocket League is because, one, I'm pretty decent at it, and two, it's something that I just enjoy playing in general. I think it's great. I think, you know, I think the games are pretty decent. You know, there's obviously issues with each game, but, you know, there's always going to be. But I just enjoy it. It's one of those games where I feel comfortable playing it. I feel like happy playing it, and I just enjoy it. That's it really. So now that I have a good PC, I have good internet, I've got a £3,000 PC, I've got 1,000 downloads and 150 to 200 megabyte upload. You know, I'm at that point now where I can now play games and stream them at a very good quality, with a stable connection. You know, my PC's not going to overheat and die on me. You know, I'm at that sort of level now where I can actually do this and I can actually enjoy doing it as well, and not be stressed about all the different things that potentially, you know, could happen during the stream. And now I can just kind of roll with whatever happens, you know, whether someone comes into the chat, whether it's streaming to 0 people. You know, there's a lot of stuff I need to obviously get better at, but I'm at that point now where I can now do it. So, and I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with getting to that point. I also, you know, now I have all of this stuff, I can create other content. Like, I can stream, create clips on the stream, post YouTube videos, you know, tweet, you know, my content out to people. And yeah, I'm now at that point where I can do all of that because of the internet I have, the PC I have. Yeah, it's great. Now, I have like barriers that I need to overcome. One major one for me is I get kind of embarrassed when people I know in my real life, I get embarrassed when they see my content. I remember I was at a barbecue it must have been about a year ago now, and a few people that I worked with and their partners had seen my TikTok account, and it was, you know, TikToks that I posted quite a long time ago. It was the last Call of Duty, the last Warzone, and I basically won the game of Warzone, and a lot of people in this at this barbecue had seen it. Now, to me, like, I wanted the world to open up and eat me, basically. I wanted to fall down a hole. It was bad. Like, I felt awful, and I felt so embarrassed because I have always had this kind of like, I've always thought there's this stigma around doing this sort of thing. And actually, I said it there and then. I said, like, oh God, how embarrassing, you know, kind of trying to make a joke out of it. And they were like, no, you know, you do you. Like, you know, it's cool. Like, it's good to see someone doing it, you know. It's not very common that, you know, people, you know, it's not very common for people to do this sort of thing. So, yeah, I was still embarrassed, and even now, like, I've posted a few TikToks and stuff, and there's people that I know in my real life, at work, you know, family, that have seen my content, and it's something I need to overcome to get to where I want to be, and it's something I'm definitely working on for sure. Like, it's something that I'm definitely going to work on, and obviously overcome and you know, get better at dealing with. Now, obviously, to get to the goal I want to get to of being a content creator, it requires a lot of time. Now, not trying to make excuses or anything like that off the bat, because I do want to get to where I want to be. But I work a shift pattern that is very difficult to deal with when you're trying to stream on a schedule. It's basically not going to happen. It's not something that I'm not going to be able to keep to a schedule, because I do a 7-week rota pattern with days, nights, you know, it's all over the place. I don't just work every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't work every weekend. It's one of those ones where I could potentially be, you know, working a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on one week, and the next week I might be doing a Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe, you know, on the following week. So, you know, that could be days or nights. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, it's tough. It's a tough thing to kind of deal with when you're trying to get to kind of becoming a content creator, becoming a streamer, because literally any video that you watch, you know, on how to become a streamer, how to get better at streaming, etc., how to get noticed, is basically you have to be consistent. And I can't be. I literally cannot be consistent at all. And it's not like that I can finish work. You know, I do a 7 till 7 shift. I can't finish work, come home, and then start streaming from 9 o'clock, say, until midnight, because I have kids. It's not as easy as that. I have kids, a fiance. You know, it's not as easy for me just jumping on and streaming whenever I want to. I've got them to think about as well. Now, you know, my partner, my fiance, Lauren, she's great. She will obviously back me with any of this kind of sort of thing that I want to do. But obviously she doesn't want it to interfere with my personal life, you know, with the kids. She doesn't want me to kind of miss out on things, you know, because I'm sitting in front of a computer all day or all night, you know. There's obviously things that I need to work out regarding that to get a schedule going and making it kind of easier to do. But yeah, that's one of probably the biggest kind of things I need to overcome. But as soon as I've got over that, and you know, if I start getting noticed, etc., then I will obviously post a schedule of how I'm going to do things. But yeah, it's one of those ones where, unfortunately, until I get to that point, I don't really know how I'm going to deal with it. I am going to start printing off little sheets of basically like a month planner, and I'm going to write on there the days that I could stream and the times I could stream, and also when I'm going to create content as well, like with, you know, the videos that go on YouTube, for example, like this, and when I'm going to, you know, create them, edit them and upload them. Because at the moment it's kind of like all over the place, and I need to get like a proper schedule going with that, and I need to actually have it physically written down in front of me, I think, otherwise I will go insane. But yeah. Now, I think the next thing that I really want to talk about is my goals, and I've touched on a few of them already, but I'm not going to go into detail on every single one of them because I would be here forever. But my main goal, and obviously as I've said before, is to become a full-time content creator. And I want to get to a point where, you know, I wake up in the morning, you know, maybe I take the kids to school or, you know, whatever, and I can then come home from dropping them off and stream. And that's my schedule. Like I stream from, say, I don't know, like 9 o'clock till 2, for example, and then from 2 o'clock I can then be dad again. You know, that's, you know, it's in my bio, kind of like I want to do all these things whilst also being a dad, and, you know, being a good fiance as well, because, you know, it's one of those ones where I've got to obviously balance everything. You know, this is my passion, and this is something that I'm really passionate about, I want to do, but obviously family comes first, and that's something obviously I want to put a focus on. But I still want to do this, and that's, you know, that's the main thing. I still want to do this full time, and I'll get to that point where I can, like I said, wake up, take the kids to school, come home and stream for, you know, 6 hours or whatever, and then go and be dad again. But I think that's my main goal. I think that's the goal I want to get to the most, is just becoming a full-time content creator. And I want to get to a point where, you know, I can give up my job. You know, I do enjoy my job, but I wish I could give it up and do this full time, because I can't think of anything better than, you know, sitting here in front of a computer. I mean, which I do in my actual job anyway, but doing, you know, what I want basically, and kind of setting up a schedule of how I want it to work, and even get to a point where, you know, if I'm not feeling it that day, I just won't do it. You know, that sort of level is where I want to be at. And obviously you see these like big, you know, these big streamers, these big, especially Call of Duty streamers, like Scump, Nadeshot, Symphony, you know, all these people. I mean, they're the ones I watch mainly. Obviously they're the trio at the moment. But you see them, and that's what their job is. You know, their job is to get up and stream. And, you know, obviously there's pressures behind that, but they have a lifestyle that I want. You know, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to just be like them. They're my kind of like heroes, the guys that I love watching and I've watched for a very long time. So that's kind of the end goal, really. Obviously in the meantime, like, I want to get to a point where I'm an affiliate with Twitch. I want to become, you know, a YouTube partner in the future, a Twitch partner in the future. They're the sort of things that I want to do, and that's where I want to be. But yeah, that's obviously a long way off. It's not going to happen overnight. I know that, but I can see myself getting there. I can really see myself becoming one of these people. So yeah. Now, I think to kind of wrap it up, really, and me just waffling on is kind of where I'm going to go with this sort of like series. Now, it's not something I'm going to be posting every week or every 2 weeks or whenever. It's going to be kind of when I feel like there's an update that's big enough to give, I will. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those ones where it's, again, a bit like me, it's gonna be not on schedule. There's not gonna be a schedule for it. It's gonna be just whenever I feel like it, really. But yeah, I've got a lot to learn. There's a lot I've got to learn on, you know, even like things like how to edit a video. I mean, I can try my best with it, and I've got an idea of how to do it, but until I get to a point where I'm good at it, then it's going to be something that I need to learn and get better at. I'm going to miss out on like adding, I don't know, sound effects and things like that into a video, because that's something I'd love, and I love watching when there's like, love watching a video when there's a sound effect. But yeah, and also putting music over it, for example. Like, I mean, I can put music on it, but is it going to sound good? I don't know, but that's something I need to learn. And obviously that comes with time, so I will obviously get better at that. Other things I need to learn is like how to, I don't know, title a video, for example. I have ideas of what I want to title things, and I have all these ideas bouncing around my head. I'll try and write them down on a notebook. But yeah, I literally, it's one of those ones where I sometimes have so many thoughts going around my head of different ideas, etc., that I just don't really know where to start. So I need to kind of get better at that as well, and learn how to deal with that, and kind of just stick to what I know and what I'm going to be best at, for example. And obviously pushing myself out of the comfort zone where I can, really. But yeah, to wrap it up, I think, like I said, this is going to be a series where it's going to be a bit all over the place. It's not going to be on set days. It's not, like, for example, it's going to be when I feel like there's an update. And yeah, it's going to be, I think, a good series for me to look back at anyway. I'm probably going to cringe when I'm editing this, because I've got to watch back and look at myself talking to a camera for 20 minutes, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see where this takes me, and takes you as a viewer as well, because at the moment you might be sitting there and I might have like 5 million subscribers, for example, and you've gone back to see what my first video was, or one of my first videos is, and you see this and you think, wow, what a dick, basically. But yeah, I've enjoyed making this. It's good. It's making me feel more comfortable talking to the camera, and that's what I need to get better at, is talking to a camera and making sure that I'm doing all the things that all my kind of heroes in the content space are what they do and how they do it. But yeah, I will get there. I know it. And literally the last thing I want to say is thank you for watching. It's been, like I said, it's been great going through and talking to this camera, but I hope you have enjoyed watching the video, and I hope you will follow along with this journey with me. Please drop a subscribe, drop a like on the video, put a comment down below, and just tell me what ideas you have for me, what you'd like to see as someone that consumes content. That'd be great. And also, when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell, and you'll know when I post and go live, etc. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and take care.
But please don't stay the night. Don't try to change my mind.